midway through the season, you look back to, I think, well, we're approaching, Kyle, but you look back to the summertime off season as this team's coming together. Is this where you've seen it in the mix competing? Are you on the top six at any rate right now?
Well, I think we're obviously excited about the record of the team, and I think especially a lot of the credit has to go to the coaching staff and the players for the way that they were able to navigate that stretch without Austin and without William. Continue to stay focused and get better and better, and I think that leads to some excitement for the remainder of the year. So I'm happy with where we're at. I still think we have a long way to go, and that's what we work towards every day.
Kyle, I don't suppose that when you sign a guy like Tavares, you'll ever surpass expectations, but has he come close to that in this first 30-plus games?
I think anytime you engage in that type of commitment to a person, and you bring them in, you hear all these different things about them, and you know that they're a great person, you know that they can bring leadership, and with their preparation and of course how they play. But until you actually go through a season and the process day in and day out, I think it's tough to actually know what you're getting and whether that person will live up to that. And I think in John's case, he's surpassed even my expectations and our expectations of what he brings, not only on the ice, but I think probably just as important off the ice, and how he can help guide our group and educate our young players and support our veteran group that's already here as we continue to move along. So he's been excellent in every regard. His play on the ice speaks for itself, and his production speaks for itself, but it's the stuff that's going on here in the locker room and with our younger players that's been certainly noted by me.
We'll keep hearing he's the complete professional.
He is every day, and every single thing that he does. You read about all these players in different sports and how much they put into maintaining their level of play, and I think especially when you're in a 7-year agreement with somebody, to know that they're doing that every day now, and they're going to continue to do that, and they have an aspiration to maintain that level for a long time. It makes you feel pretty confident, and certainly with us, we're very happy that John's here and the way that he's performed thus far.
Where are you at in talks with Jake Gardiner, and how important is he to the future of this club?
I think with all of our pending free agents, we're having discussions with Jake. He is a key part, and I think that's the same spot that it was a few weeks ago. We have some other matters that we have to tend to, and that's been communicated to Jake as well. And then we'll continue to stay in contact and work with him. And we would like him to be here. We just have it's not as simple as it sounds. You only have certain. Only have a certain amount that you can divvy up, and is trying to make that all work and keep our team on the right path moving forward. So I know that's not really an answer you may be looking for in terms of quantifying where things are at with him, but that's just the reality.
Just the defense overall. I mean, how pleased are you at this point with it, and are you looking to upgrade? Are you actively pursuing something?
Well, I think Kristen, we're always looking to improve the team wherever we can, and we would like to continue to move the puck better from our own zone. I think some of that falls on our forwards to get open and available, and on the defense to execute when they are open and available, and it is an area that we continue to want to improve upon. I think it is an area we can make great gains and continue to improve as a club, and if that isn't something that's happening as we get closer to the end of February, I think we'll certainly look to improve.
Timothy Liljegren suffered a high ankle sprain at the start of the month. I understand he's still rehabbing. Is he going to join up with Sweden, or?
It's a tough injury to gauge in terms of timeline, and it's really unfortunate because he'd been having an excellent season for the Marlies in the first pair, first power play, first penalty kill, producing well. So regardless of the Sweden World Junior element, it's disappointing for us because he's a right shot defenseman and he moves the puck very well, and so we're looking at him to continue to move and challenge here this season. And unfortunately, this is going to set him back for quite a few weeks. I don't know that he's overly close quite yet, and I think and it's certainly understandable that he wants to push to play for Sweden at the World Junior, but I just don't know that it's going to be realistic.
And after him, but Rasmus will probably get more of an opportunity with Sweden. What are you hoping?
Well, I don't think Rasmus's opportunity has anything to do with Timothy with Sweden. I think he's going to get a huge opportunity regardless, based on the way that he's performed as an 18-year-old in the American League. It's been outstanding. Even this past weekend, he just continues to, as guys get injured or guys go through their ebbs and flows with their effectiveness, he's kind of remained steady for an 18-year-old there and a later first-round pick. He's been outstanding, and I know that they're going to rely heavily on him, so that'll be a great opportunity for him.
Where do you think this team needs to get better, Kyle, to have a chance to do what you want to do this year?
I think we've got a lot of young people still, Chris, on the team, and we've seen some of them make great strides, of late, whether it's Andreas Johnson, the way he's played of late. Cappy continues to perform very well night in, night out, and I think we're continuing to look for gains from Travis Dermott and Ozzy Ganoff and others, and I think that there'll be some natural improvement with them as the year goes on, working with our coaching staff and our development staff. But it goes back to the point earlier on Kristen's question about just being able to more effectively move the puck from our own zone and get the puck to our forwards with control and have them get up the ice. That'd be the key. I think that's the area we can make the most gains.
Looking at those games now, what was your impression of how Willie's played this far?
I think it's tough. I don't look at it, and I know I think that's probably the right thing to do in media, and if you're scouting our team, would be to look at and judge how's he doing, where's he going. But I think I tend not to do that with players who've proven themselves in exhibition, and that's the way that I look at his play of late. He's had chances each game. He had a great chance Saturday night. He had 2 assists in Carolina. Played well in Tampa Bay. It's his points aren't at the level that he would probably like them at, or that he's used to, but I think he's slowly starting to come along, and I think that was totally expected. I think in his case, I know there's going to be some challenges, and as a result of the way that situation went, but I think by the time we get beyond Christmas into the new year, he'll be back to his usual form and continuing to improve on the path that he's had. So I don't worry about William whatsoever. He's in excellent shape, excellent character person. He's going to end up being just great for us.
One of the things that gets talked about fairly frequently is the heaviness on this team, and is there enough size, bite for lack of a better word, to go through a playoff run? I guess it's a debate between philosophies, but what would you say to that topic, and how would you assess what you see from your team in that regard?
Well, the way that I look at it is I tend to focus, and as an organization we focus a lot on our division, and when we go in and play the other top teams in our division, every night I look at that sheet that Steve prints out, and we're usually bigger than the opponent, and for whatever reason that takes on a life of its own, the whole toughness question. I look at Tampa Bay, they're 8 or 9 points ahead of us now, and they've built their team their way. I understand it's at every level, that whether it's been Sault Ste. Marie or the Marlies, it's been the same question, and I don't buy it myself. I know that there are a lot of pundits that say you have to have it, but I look at the teams that have had success, and I don't think bringing in one big person is going to change our culture, and it's not going to have us carry on with the process we've started. We want to have skill, we want to be fast, and we want to be competitive, and I don't really think that the way that the league is going, that having someone that can come in and fight or anything like that, if that's what you're inferring, is going to change that. So I think we've got a way that we want to play, and we're just going to carry on with that, and in the end people will judge whether it was effective.
Marner said before the season he wanted to take a bigger leadership role this year. I mean, is there maybe an underrated serious side to him because of how he comes off as just very happy-go-lucky?
I think that he leads by just being himself, and there's the different ways that people can lead, and I think what he does for our team every day is he has just a great joy and enthusiasm, and I think everybody who comes into the rink every day can probably feel when they watch him. He loves hockey, and he's got so much energy and such a great spirit about him when he goes on the ice, and I think that's infectious, not only within the players on the team but within the staff, and you love to have people like that around, where they come in every day and they're bouncing off the walls and excited to be here and be playing hockey and be a part of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So that's the way that I look at Mitch and the way that he leads, and I think he does an excellent job for us as a leader in that way. You don't have to worry about what his disposition is going to be any day. He comes in and he's rolling along, and it adds a lot to our group, and especially on the days where it's like a stretch like right now, where we've been away a long time. We've had 2 trips. We've gone on the road. We've come back, and we've had a long trip in between. There's been a lot going on. He comes in and he's the same every day. So, and that spirit and that enthusiasm certainly infiltrates through the group and helps, especially at times like this. And I don't think that's a leadership quality that could be understated at all.
We haven't seen one in years, but how seriously are you considering the threat of an offer sheet for guys as talented as Mitch and Austin?
I think of and I look around the league right now, and I for whatever reason, it seems like the Toronto Maple Leafs are the only team that's going to be the target of an offer sheet. Seems interesting to me, but there's about a third of the teams in the league that have a very highly talented restricted free agent. And some of them have more than one, as we do. And I think if you think of it probabilistically rather than far-reaching scenarios where that may happen, I think an offer sheet is completely permissible within the rules of the league, and even though they haven't been used frequently. But there's a lot of players. I understand why it's a topic, because there are a lot of restricted free agents coming up this year that are highly talented. I think we're certainly not alone in that. But what I would say, as it relates solely to our team, is that our salary cap situation is set up that we could defend any of those threats with no worry at all. So I know that they've become a huge topic of late, but I spend 0% of my time having any worry about that. And if a team wants to go down that path with us, that's the way it goes. But our goal will be continue to work with these players. The players have both stated they want to be here, and it's our goal to continue to work with them and their agents towards an agreement.
Do you have
One last question, guys. We gotta go.
Do you have a timeline for when you really start to aggressively pursue getting those deals done, or does it just sort of
Well,
happen?
yeah. I think partially they happen naturally, but we continue to have discussions with Judd Moldaver and with Darren Ferris and both of those camps, and it'll be our intention to try to get those. I mean, as soon as possible. We do want to avoid the situation we were just in, and we're completely in control of that this time. In that, we there's no excuse that I can't say, well, I wasn't doing this job a year ago. So we have to continue to work away with them, and be our intention well before July 1st that we have an agreement and both players are here long term, and one way or another we'll get to that point.